Good afternoon, everyone. Hey guys, this is Bruce Marshall with Simpler Trading doing the nightly market update for Wednesday, August the 9th. So happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Hope you're having a great week. If you are trading, I hope you were short and then long and then short today because we had another one of those days today where we are all over the place with no real direction. So let's jump in here and look. I'll pull this over to the side. We'll talk about this in a minute, but this is the ES that I've got up on the screen, and the black area here, that's the cash session or the day session. This is the overnight session last night, and then the tonight session has just started. So today at the open right here, we came out, and well, let me back up. Overnight session yesterday, we had a pretty good flush down and then a big rip higher all day, chop, 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 and then overnight we went up here to our Voodoo Fire line, and it looked pretty normal at the open here. Everything looked pretty normal and nothing really out of the ordinary. Then we came down here. I thought this Voodoo Skyline would hit and hold, and we would probably bounce back up here and keep going. And instead, we just started free falling all the way down here. So that's 45.15 down to 41.78. What is that? That gives us 37 points. Is that right? Anyway, so straight down, pretty good flush down, and I had a lot of levels here. I'm looking at fib levels. I had a lot of levels of support all under here, and we were just taking them out like they weren't there in the NASDAQ, in the ES, across the board, in handful of stocks I was watching. And then we did find a little foothold down here, and we started making our way back up, and we ripped higher. And I thought, well, this is going to be interesting because we're going to keep on going here, and we turn around and roll back over. So craziness going on here on the daily basis, and let me show you how crazy it is. If we go back here to say a 5-day chart, actually we'll do a 10-day chart and I'll show you. As we can see, this is that's Friday. We're straight up, straight down, and then we go straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. So this is over the last handful of days. This has been really crazy back and forth. In fact, let me show you this. Let's do a 3-day chart here. So you see, interesting fact, you see this Friday, this black section here, that's last Friday's day session, cash session. Again, straight up here, this is ES, and then straight all the way back down. This was the highest. We like to trade these 0 DTE options, 0 days to expiration options on the S&P. This was the heaviest volume ever on those 0 DTEs on Friday. Kind of crazy, and it's picking up. That may be good. It may not, but it's mostly institutional traders that are doing that. But again, if we look at this, it's really hard to get on the right side. Get long here, get short here, get long here, short here, long, short, long, short. So anyway, crazy. As we know, lots of volatility coming into the market, and has been for the last, 10 days. I'll do a 20-day chart. So up until this point, man, it was nothing but net. You just buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy everything in sight. Don't even have to, you just throw a dart and hit something and just buy it, right? That's the way it felt. And then, of course, we got big flush there, and then we've kind of rolled over, and this is kind of giving us the waterfall kind of effect, lower, lower, lower. So where do we go from here? And I'm going to switch this over to my Darvis boxes and grab candles here, and as we can see, let me zoom in a little bit. As we can see here, we're coming back in. This is a 34 EMA right here, and which this is normally a place that we would come in to buy the dip. Buy the dip here, buy the dip here, you buy the dip here, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. So we would just think this is a place we buy the dip and come back up, and maybe that's what happens. I don't know. What we were watching out for, and if you see this video tonight on Wednesday, you will know that tomorrow morning we have CPI, which is our inflation gauge, tomorrow morning before the open at 8:30 Eastern, and that will be a huge determining factor as far as if we're going to, at this point, if we're going to keep going higher or if we're going to start a trend lower. Now, I have been really bullish, on this market, and even on this little pullback here, I've been trying to buy the dip because within reason, this is still just kind of getting back to the normal. Not a big deal. Either way, the market has to pull back in order to kind of catch its breath to make the next run higher. But with CPI being reported tomorrow, and then on Friday we have PPI, Producer Price Index, being reported, which is another inflation metric that we use. If those numbers come in hot and show increasing inflation, the Fed's going to have to step back in and raise rates, all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be good for the market. So a lot's going to be riding on these two data points that are coming out tomorrow and Friday. Now again, there's no way for us to know, and I'm trying not to read this last round of selling too much into that, because we had the credit debt downgrade by Fitch. We've had bad Chinese data coming in this week. What else have we had? There's been a lot of things that are weighing on the market right now, and just over zealous maybe on the upside. Maybe we get a little too extended there, but again, it makes sense for us to pull back, and then if things come in normal, which I think it will, I think CPI will come in line, and we should maybe keep tracking up this way, or maybe we get into one of these kind of range bound things here for a little while, and that's fine too. The market kind of has to digest a really large move it's had over the last 6 months. That'll be fine too. But we'll know tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow and on Friday. As far as individual names, there's been a lot of pullback in stocks. Apple, Tesla, Nvidia's pulled back a lot. I am at this point still inclined to be on the buy side of those. If tomorrow we get a hot inflation number, that's going to completely change what I'm thinking, and I'll look to be buying things lower down here. But again, we shall see. So at this point, there's nothing to do but wait and see how things come out tomorrow. I am expecting CPI to come in line, but we'll see. So there's nothing to do but wait and watch at this point, and just keep your eye on that economic calendar as far as things coming down the road. We do not have a Fed meeting in August. We will in September, but again, tomorrow is going to give us a lot of indication of which way we're likely to go, so keep an eye on that. It's 8:30 before the market opens tomorrow. So thanks for the time, guys. I appreciate it. Nothing else to do but just wait and watch. So take care and safe trading. Thanks.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me